Hi, everybody, and welcome to Renew. Tonight's going to be an amazing show. We have Melody here, aka Zenmaiden, who is going to go ahead and be available tonight to answer your questions. She's going to share things about her weight loss journey and just answer whatever questions you may have. I want to take a second and give Khalif and Julie a chance to say hi to her and say hi to the viewers that have tuned in. It is going to be an amazing, amazing night.
Hey everybody, I'm so glad that you're here with us tonight. I'm really excited about our show tonight. Melody, I've been watching your videos for months now, and I took some time this week to go back and look at your prior videos. What a transformation. You're doing awesome. So we're really glad to have you here.
Thank you so much, Julie.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in, and I'm sure you guys are going to have a great show. Melody, I love your videos, and I love your outlook on the weight loss journey, and I can't wait to hear more about it.
Okay, Zen, so what we're going to do at this point is, why don't you just give everybody, take 3-4 minutes, whatever you want to do, just explaining a little bit about your journey or whatever part of your life that you want to, just to give people a little bit of a lowdown on what you're about and what your journey is about, and also get them start thinking about some questions that they want to go ahead and get keyed in and start asking.
Okay, thank you so much, and I'm very honored to be asked to be a guest tonight. Thank you guys very much, and hi everybody out there. I'm so excited to be here. I have been on my journey since May 2011. When I reached my highest weight of 252 pounds. And from that point, I decided that I needed to change my life. I started looking into some different options for myself because I wasn't feeling well. I suffer from migraines. I had lots of problems with arthritis in my feet and was just having trouble moving around. I'm 5'5", and at 252 pounds, I was really hitting the top of the scale for me. I had been overweight since I had my first daughter, and I had gained about 65 pounds from my normal weight, which was 120. So I ended up at like 190. So at that point, that's where it started for me, because I had always been a normal weight growing up and through college, and I went to Michigan State, and I was a normal weight there. I ate normally. I do want to say that as a teenager, though, I had lots of opportunities with my girlfriends. We did lots of dieting, crash dieting, to lose that 5 and 10 pounds just to look super slick. We would always do all the different kind of diets. Every diet that would come up, we would do it. And actually, at one point, we had actually even dabbled with bulimia, but we didn't know that's what it was called. We thought that we actually invented that this was a way that you could eat all that you wanted at that particular time, and then you wouldn't have to deal with the after effects. Well, that didn't go on very long for me, nor my friends actually. So, but that was just part of the diet thing that we were doing at that time, and it was just one of the many things that we tried as crazy teenagers, and I was crazy. Not that I'm not still crazy. So. The weight loss journey started when I consulted my, just briefly, consulted my primary doctor. He referred me to a bariatric surgeon, and from there I decided that I was going to have the gastric sleeve. So a few months after that, and after much ado with formal testing and lots of different doctor appointments and clearances, I had to go to like 6 different specialists at a couple of times, including a cardiologist and all of it, the shrink, you name it. I had my surgery November 15th, 2011, and started the actual process of, well, I didn't start it there, but that's what transformed the journey as far as the final commitment. For me to have to make that commitment for myself because I had failed so many times before, excuse me, it was a life-changing event for me. So I had made up in my mind that if I was going to do this, because it is a lifelong program, that I was going to really have to stick with it this time and do it for myself. And so that's basically what I've done. Is I'm not finished with the journey. I've been on it 17 months now. I'm down about 71 pounds. I have about 30 more to go. I'm very excited that I, keep pushing forward. My flame is lit. I am on fire with my program. I don't digress from it hardly ever. So I'm kind of religious about it, guys. I know maybe fanatical, but it's just not that it just has to be done for me. I just had to do it. And I figure if I'm going to do this, I have to give it my full commitment, and so that's basically what I've done with both the food and the fitness. So my fitness currently, I'll just say briefly that I work out about 4 to 5 times a week, and I used to work out 6 to 7 times a week, but I slowed it down a little bit to give myself a rest day. And my latest activity is kickboxing. I absolutely love kickboxing, and it is a great stress reliever because I have a high-stress job. I work in an office, and I work full-time, and with, the 3 kids and all the stuff that goes on, it's just a great outlet.
Okay, then, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm finished.
So what I wanted to touch base on real quick was when you said you went to your doctors or whatever the case may be, and we all have different breaking points, so what was it that led you to that, your primary care that was the breaking point for you? And with that, did you look at weight loss surgery as a last resort at that point? Or like, what was your feelings about it?
Okay, well, I had a lot of feelings about weight loss surgery, but not really understood how it worked or what was the qualifications, what were the qualifications that were required. I thought that people had to be super morbidly obese before they could really get it, and I didn't think that I would qualify, but I was getting there. But you know how it is, you think that you're actually smaller than you are until you see a photograph. Well, I saw a photograph that was taken of me on Mother's Day of 2011, and honey, I almost died looking at it. And plus, I was feeling terrible. My feet were killing me. I couldn't find any shoes that would help me, and I was literally like I said, at the last resort, because I would eat pretty well during the day. I was a big salad eater. But then when I would get home at night, I was a gamer, a computer gamer for a while. I did a couple years of that, and it's just, I just ate. And
so was the eating of the salads, though, Zen, was that because you wanted to act like you were eating one thing in front of people and then go home and eat something else, or no?
No, I wasn't ever a person that could eat that much. I mean, it was more than I needed, obviously, right? Because I gain weight very easily. So I consider myself a food addict of sorts, but I'm not at the time, I was really predisposed to overeat. And when I say overeat, for me, I could have never eat a whole bag of cookies. I might eat 5, or I would have 2 waffles with chocolate chips or something, and then I would want 3. So just eating like that for me is too much. I have a metabolism that burns every single crumb and turns it into fat. So I could have never, done that. I would have been 9,000 pounds if I had been able to eat that much. But I still do love cookie dough. And if that tub of that was in my fridge, honey, I would be like making a trip to the cookie dough with a big spoon, coming back, sit at the computer, eat the cookie dough, get back up, go get some more. So, it was just eating the wrong things. And no, I was never trying to hide what I ate. I was always trying to stay on track, actually. During the day, I would really do well, and then I would get home at night and I would have a dinner. But like I said, just eating those few extra things every day, you just gaining and gaining and gaining. And I wasn't a big soda drinker, but I can say that I did look forward to every meal. I always wanted to know what people were having. What you having? Oh boy, that sounds good. And I would always be like the first one there just looking. So yeah, I think I was a little over the top with all that. And it had just become my friend, lonely times, sad times, food was always there. And it's not like I had to go to my car and get extra or whatever. Just getting one of whatever it was and some fries or whatever was too much for me. So I just should never eat that kind of stuff. It doesn't agree with my metabolism.
Melody, you said that that one of your biggest sources of frustration was that you realized that you may not hit your goal.
Oh yeah.
What did, and you said that on the questionnaire that you filled out. What did you mean by that? That you may not get to goal?
Well, you know, I have this goal, and like Rob has told me before, you know, why don't I just stamp it on my head, you know, or tattoo it right here, 135. And you know what? It's just such a burning desire for me to get back to where I used to be, and I used to be at 120. I thought 120 was high. That's back in my days. So I realize now I'm not 19 anymore. You know, being 39 is hard, but you know, you just got to keep pushing. I'm 39 forever, just in case anyone was wondering. So I'm just thinking that my body is fighting against me at this point. I know that. I have hormone. Obviously, there's something going on with me because I'm doing what I need to do. And my frustration is, like I said, that I have this picture in my head, and if I don't get to that picture, then I'm going to be disappointed. And I have a real hard time with disappointment. I do. When I'm disappointed in things, I just have to try to change up sometimes my mental image to come in line with reality and realize that I have come pretty far. And if I had to stop today, you know, I guess I would be disappointed. But I don't have to stop today. I have tomorrow and the next day and next year and next week, and whenever it is that I get there, I'm going to get there, because that's just the way I feel about it. I'm dedicated to it, and I'm not going to take no for an answer. That's just how I am. When I put my mind to something, it just is all the way live. That's it.
Khalif, you probably have a question. Go ahead and get it in there.
Well, I just want to know, outside of when you said that you and your friends, you know, kind of dabbled in with bulimia, not even knowing what it was, what was the craziest diet that you've ever done?
Well, I'd have to say that one. I mean, it wasn't like it went on for every meal, but it was kind of like, oh, well, we can actually binge on this fruit or whatever over here and eat like 20 or 30 of them, like little plums or whatever. Yeah, let's try that. You know, it was kind of the crazy. That was crazy. Who would want to do that? And I just thought it was like a novel idea. And this is very serious. I was a kid. We were, you know, teenage kids. And I thought, well, this is like a great invention. Why doesn't anyone else think of this? And I'm serious. I actually believe that it was for a minute. And then I realized, no, this is not going to work. This is not going to work for me. And other than that, I've done the grapefruit diet, you know, any diet you can name, fen-phen. I've done them all, pretty much.
Well, I can say, as people know, I suffered from bulimia in my early 20s for 2 years. And I can tell people that I was more miserable as a bulimic in that, I don't really want to say lifestyle, but during that time of my life than I was sitting on a couch at 322 pounds. It is a very lonely, sad, and depressed place to be. And, you know, it's shocking for people that have to deal with it. And it takes years to recover from something like that. So, you know, thanks for, you know, sharing that with everybody and letting them know, because like you said, you just thought it was something you invented. And the sad thing is now a lot of times things like bulimia and anorexia, especially for girls that are teenagers and some boys, this is almost a fad for them, or like the new thing. They think it's cool. And I am surprised there is not more ads and more things done to make people understand the true damage that can be done to someone's body when these people participate in this. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
We have a question from Lisa, LJB415 Able. She says, has your confidence level increased since the weight loss, and do you find yourself in awe at sometimes?
Wow, I don't know about in awe, but yes, it has. It has tremendously. I get a lot of people say things, and I mean, I can see it sometimes more than others when I allow myself to be less critical. But certainly, yes, my confidence level has increased dramatically. And I just keep hoping that it will just keep going. So then I can, you know, just feel like that I'm at like 100% instead of being at like 70 or 80%.
I can tell that it's increased because you smile a lot more in your videos now.
Yeah, I was a sad soul, wasn't I? At the beginning, I was really depressed.
We have a question coming in too from Glow Henderson, and she asked, How hard is it for you not to eat the good food now?
What does she mean by the good food?
Probably things that we would consider. I'm speaking for her because
Yeah.
obviously I can't talk with her. But I would think the question would mean when we say good foods, the foods that some people, when they're on a weight loss journey or whatever, may say, I'm not allowed to have that. I can't have that.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would guess. And if I'm
Yeah,
wrong,
it's in quotes.
and we'll update it.
Okay. Hey, Glow. Well, this is my feeling about it. I can have whatever I want. I choose not to for the most part because I know that it's not going to assist me getting to where I want to go. I don't eat very much because having the gastric sleeve and having 80% of my stomach removed, I can only eat about 2.5, 3 ounces of the solid food, like a piece of fish or like 2 or 3 turkey meatballs at the most, with maybe 2 bites of vegetables. And I know that it is amazingly small, and this is a shocking thing. So when you first have the surgery, you really have no idea how small and what a limited amount of food that is. So my thing is, if I want to have a bite of something, then if I feel like having it and I think it's good enough that I might want to try it, not just somewhat good, it has to be good enough. I'll go ahead and take a bite, and if I want to swallow it, I will, and if I don't, I'll just taste it and I'll spit it out. That's just me, and I'm telling it like it is. If it's good, I'll swallow it, and if I feel like having it, I'll have a bite. If I want a piece of a cheesecake and it's the best one, then I might have 2 bites. But as long as I've eaten my protein first, and I know that I'm getting my requirement, and that's been a hard thing for me because I think I'm supposed to have 170 grams per day, and that's really hard to get that much in. So I'm drinking a lot of it, as well as eating 3 times a day. And sometimes I'll be eating, Rob knows, all afternoon I'll be like eating a little of this and eating a little of that. I got to wait, in between. So that's my answer. Sorry if it was too long.
Actually, that reminds me of Jack LaLanne. One of his famous comments is, "If it tastes good, spit it out." That's one of his his ways to stay healthy.
I'm just being honest.
We have another question. It's from Tina, Prairie Princess 1.
Hey, Tina.
Of course, she asked this: what is your favorite form of exercise?
Right now, it's kickboxing. I'm not a master, but I'm having big fun at it. I first just borrowed a pair of gloves from my friend's daughter, and now my daughter, who's 12, and I, we go 3 times a week. And it is an amazing workout. We burn 600, 700 calories in 50 minutes punching that bag. I get all that stress out. I put a face on that bag, honey, and I just let it rip. And I'm really good at kicking, too. I don't kick that hard into the bag, because I don't want to hurt my feet. But I have got powerful. I'm getting very powerful. So
Whose face is on the bag? Do tell.
Oh, you know what, bro? I ain't even going to go there, honey.
Fair enough.
I can tell you a couple of them, but you won't know them.
Okay.
We have a question from Nadura Deb. How old are your kids, and how do they feel about your weight loss surgery?
Okay, I've got 3 girls. The oldest is 23. Hey, Ari, I know you're watching out there, girl. And Ivana, who's almost 20. And then I have Maylin, who I adopted from China, and she's 12. And they feel fantastic about it. I mean, at first they were all very worried, and they were trying to talk me out of it. And, oh, Mom, you're crazy. You could die on a table and this, that. I'm like, you know what? My life is I care about you girls and love you very much. You're my family. But you know what? This is about me, and my life isn't feeling like it's about a whole lot of worth. So unless I can do something and make myself feel better, both especially my health and my mental attitude had to change. I was willing to die to have myself change, and so that's.
You had a lot of health problems at the beginning that
Yes.
probably could have led you to that had you not changed what you were doing.
That's absolutely right. Yes, for sure. I can expound on that for a second. Basically, I had problems with the esophagus, acid reflux that caused me to feel like I was having a heart attack, and then I went to the hospital, was kept overnight one time, and to check me out thoroughly, and the cardiologist did say that if I didn't change and lose weight and get healthier, that I would probably have a heart attack in the next 10 years.
Wow.
But I ignored her for 2 years after that. See, I'm a hard head. You know, a lot of us out here, we're hard-headed. We think we're going to do it our way.
I did want to say there's a lot of questions coming in, and we're going to try to get to them, as many as that we can. And for the questions don't get answered for the viewers, Zen will make sure that she replies to you in one way or another, either through going in and replying to the comment that you leave, or through a video response, whatever she chooses to do. And there's lots of lovely comments coming in that you look very pretty. And Zen will go through and look at all that and comment back to everybody. So I just want to make sure that everyone understood that. The next question we have coming in is from Brooke, Crazy Running Mom, and it says, what's your idea of a perfect evening?
Of a perfect what?
Evening.
Oh, evening. Oh, wow. Perfect evening? Well, I'll probably be in some really, really beautiful, romantic place with the person of my choice, and we would be having a great time. It does not have to involve food for me, because it's just not about that. But I would just like to be relaxing and just looking out over the scenery, and or at a high point and looking out over the city lights. I love to do that.
That's good, and it's amazing because when you guys think of like when we all do stuff with family, friends, a night out or whatever, isn't it seem like 90% of the time we wrap that evening or that event around food?
Yes.
Isn't that crazy when you really think about it? Oh, do you want to go out for dinner tonight? What do you want to do? What are we going to eat? Where are we going to go? I mean, it seems like it's 90% of the times it seems like it's that. So, but thanks for answering that question. I'm sure Brooke appreciated that.
And we have more questions. First, Ari did comment and says that you're amazing and she loves you. Tony Yates has a question. He says, a little off topic, but what PC games were you playing when you gained your weight? I gained most of mine while playing World of Warcraft for 4 years.
Oh, I didn't play that. I played just Farmtown. I played Farmtown for a long time. Just because it was a very creative game. You got to create your space and then you would design it, and then you would buy different things, and you would just design it. It was very artfully done. I ended up having like 5 different linked ones, and mine were actually absolutely gorgeous. They were absolutely gorgeous. So it allowed me to be creative and express myself artistically, as well as you would actually get to talk to people. It was an interactive game. So I met people from all over the world that actually I still, some of them are actually still friends, virtual friends, of course.
We have a question from JMacVSG, and the question says, for me, faith plays a big part of my journey. Does faith or religion help you with your VSG journey specifically?
Well, I would have to say that I have faith for sure in God, and I believe in the universe and the power of all the spiritual things. I don't adhere to any one strict religion. I am a Christian by faith. However, I just have a bigger picture. I embrace a lot of ideas from many different philosophies around the world, and I try to take all of the best energy and channel that into my life.
Diane Rawgirl says, when did you start the weight loss surgery journey, and how much have you lost to date? How many calories a day are you taking in? Okay,
I've lost about 71 pounds, and my surgery date was November the 15th, 2011. And since that time, my calorie intake has changed, of course, from when I started the journey. I was on liquids. And then after that, I say I ate about 650 to 700 calories a day. And then I realized that was too little. I was in a stall, so I had to increase my calories. So I'm supposed to have 1,200 calories a day is the rule, with no more than 5 grams sugar per meal. So maximum sugar per day, and that's sugars in all the different kinds of food, is 20. So that's pretty low. And basically, I'm around probably 8 to 950 to 1,000, depending on most days. And I do try to kick it up to the 1,200, 13 sometimes, and then bring it back down, because I find if I exceed that, which I did try, I did gain some weight, and it wasn't a lot, but my body is now very sensitive.
And what's your water consumption? Just because I see a question coming up, so you might as well throw that in because it kind of goes with this whole thing.
Okay, my minimum water consumption is 64 ounces per day, and I'm really probably supposed to get more like 80 in. It's very hard for me because I have to spend so much time eating, because I, eat a little bit and have to wait because I'm full, and you can't eat and drink at the same time, but I do have a little because I don't like having a dry mouth, just saying. So, like I got my coffee here, and I got my water, so I'm all set. But I do fight with the water. I can't drink plain water that much. I really have a problem with it. But if I put something in it, like protein iced tea, I've been able to get a lot more of it down. I could drink 3 or 4, 16 ounces easily, and then in the morning I force myself to drink 8 ounces before I allow myself to have my 32 ounces coffee.
We got a question from Rachel, ready to lose 77. She says, as a lap bander, I am curious, can you eat lots of things like ice cream? Because for us, it's a slider food.
Sure, I could eat it, but I don't. I do have frozen yogurt sometimes with coconut and blueberries and almonds on it, but I have a small portion. And ice cream and that kind of sugar stuff for me is just, it's detrimental to my goal, number one. And number two, if I feel like somebody have like a little bite of something, like I said, I might taste it, but if it isn't super good, I don't want it. And it's just the way that I've changed my mind. It really isn't that I don't like those things. Like if there was a big old Toll House cookie right there, I might think about having a bite. But then I stop and ask myself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it going to take you where you want to go? Do you really want to go there? So there may be times I might say, yeah, I'll have a bite of that, or have a cookie, one of those little Trader Joe ones or something. But other than that, it's just not it's not an interest to me anymore. It used to be, but I have changed my mind. I really am just, food is fuel. I have to just focus on what it is I need and what my body needs, and the rest can just, someone else can eat it.
We have a question from Angie from Canada, Dogstress73. How are you going to celebrate when you get to your goal? Do you have any specific plans, any special plans?
Yes, I do have plans, and I'm planning to take a trip to Hawaii. I'm super excited. I've never been there before, and that's my plan, and that's one of the things I'm going to do to celebrate. The first thing I'm probably going to do is scream, holler, and make a big fuss when the scale hits that number. I mean, all heck's going to break loose in my bathroom. I'm telling you, the whole neighborhood is going to know. So I'm just saying, I'm going to be dancing on cloud 9 for that, and I'm going to keep dancing for a long time after that. And hey, Angie, I meant to say hey.
Lisa asked, since weight loss, have you had much hair loss? And what is your hair regimen? And she said she really loves your hair.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I love you too, Lisa. My hair, oh my gosh, if you really knew how much hair I do not have. I used to have 3/4 more hair than I have now. I have lost so much hair. I make jokes, as you probably know, on all my videos about how little hair I have. Luckily, I have hair that has body. So this hair is just, it comes out of the shower. I just put some gel on it. I use Enjoy. That's what I like. It's expensive. The gel's expensive, but I really like it. And if I didn't have that, if I straightened my hair, you would see, or if my hair was wet, and I've never made a wet hair video, just watch and see. Go back and look. There's not one there. I was losing handfuls of hair. And like I said on my last video, not to beat a dead horse, but people that have weight loss surgery lose hair from month 3 to month 9 minimum. And I am still losing hair today. It is not as much, but it does come out, and it is very thin, and it used to be really, really thick. Oops.
I noticed that you used to wear it straight, like at the beginning of your journey. some of the videos, your hair was it was straight, and now you wear it curly a lot. But that's why.
Well, that's not only why, but I thought I looked better with it straight. I mean,
Here we go.
Just being real, baby. I thought I was looking okay there with straight hair, but maybe if I wear my hair straight, it'll cover up the fact that I weighed 250 pounds, okay?
Yeah.
You know how we have to indulge ourselves. I mean, in our mental world. Just saying.
All right, we got another question, and it was something I was kind of wondering a little too. From 150, me, myself, and I. And she asked, what is protein iced tea? How much protein is in it? And where can I buy it?
Okay. Oh, wow. It's very good. At first, when I first bought it, I wasn't so hot on it. It's made by Synthrax Nectar. You can buy it at Vitamin Shop. You can buy it at, what's the other one? GNC. I don't know if y'all have those where you guys are. But probably those vitamin stores will carry it, or you can buy it online, Amazon.com. I think you can buy it there too, maybe even eBay. But it comes in one of those big, jar things, and it has 25 per serving, and it's about 100 and change calories. For me, I guess I am not a big calorie counter anymore because I know how many calories are in everything that I consume pretty much. So, but I got to drink quite a few of those for myself because I am always fighting the protein. I mean, got to get it down. Keep how many have I had today? How many have I had today? So I have a mental number. I'm not using my FitnessPal or the Lose It app now because I know, and I just got kind of tired of tracking this stuff and seeing the same numbers every day.
And how much does it cost, would you say?
It's probably between $25 and $30, depending where you buy it. So, and it has, I think it has 30 servings maybe in the container, and you just measure it out, and you can have it stronger or less strong. And sometimes I'll make a great big one in the big shaker thing, and I'll put 2 scoops in there, and I'll just make sure that I fill the water all the way up, and then when it goes part way down, I'll add more water so that I indulge myself and have more water. And then I take a while to drink the great big ones because I'm at work usually. So the doctor tells you to consume the protein slowly. The body can only absorb, I think, a maximum of so many grams per hour. So he told me to drink it slowly, that I should not be just chugging it down. It needs to be drank over a period of about 3 hours for my body to absorb it. So that's my challenge.
All right, I have a question. You talked about it some, but even before the last couple of years leading up to 2011 when you made the change, can you describe your life being obese? Like I said, not just those years, but even going back a little before that time.
Yeah, briefly I'll describe it for you, sure. I would say that after I got over 200 pounds, I was at that weight from 2000, about year 2000 or 1999, I went on the Lindora diet. I had hit 207, and that was an all-time high at that time. So I went on that and lost 30 pounds, but then over 2 years gained it all back plus more. So this
what is a Lindora diet? Can you, because I don't have no clue what that is. Can you just...
Okay, it's a weight loss, a medically supervised weight loss place. They give you B12 shots, and you eat very high protein. It's high protein, very low carb. And so you are able to lose they give you the B12 shots and all their food. You eat protein on your own, and then you can buy their bars, their soup. And, it's a big money-making thing. So if you got plenty of money and you don't want weight loss surgery, you can check that out. Because it was $600 for me just to come in the door, I think, there and sign up. And I did it because I was serious about losing the weight, and I did it, looked okay, and then I went right back to my eating habits. Hello. And gained right back up, over 207, and I remained at 207 to 227 for a great number of years. And my life I was unhappy. I can tell you that's the main thing. I was just unhappy. I couldn't find anything I like to wear. There's no stylish clothes, and so when you can't dress nice and you don't feel good, it's kind of like, well, Okay, I'll just stay home and eat.
I have a question. How often do you weigh yourself, and would you consider yourself stuck on the scale?
I have been a scale addict, yes. I weigh myself almost every day unless I forget. If I'm in a hurry, but I don't obsess about the fact that I weighed myself. I used to. When I first had the surgery, I'd be jumping on there a lot every day, and I would love to see it go down 3 pounds today and 3 pounds tomorrow and 3 pounds the next day, because that was like incredible. I'd never seen that before. But that stops really quickly. That is not an ongoing thing for me. It wasn't. For some people, maybe it is. But so yeah, I'm a scale hoe for sure.
I'm going to bring up something that for some people is controversial, and you know how I am. I'm the one that always likes to bring that kind of stuff up. And sometimes I may have to play devil advocate. You never know. Let's talk about plastics, because I know it's something that you're interested in the future. And you said several areas that you may consider. And I know there's other people that just feel that people shouldn't have that done. What it is, it is. I believe everybody has a right to do what they want when it comes to that. But I thought I would just ask you to weigh in on that, because I know it's something that's probably in your future, and you do talk about it. So
yeah. Okay, sure. I'll be happy to weigh in on that. I am not too proud to say that I would love to have a lot of it, but it's just got to be what's financially possible. And I'm going to start on the areas that need it the most first. I had gotten quotes last year, actually, at the meet and greet in Las Vegas, just saying Dr. Katzen here in Beverly Hills is a wonderful plastic surgeon, very well renowned. And so I had to bear it all to get the quotes, and I got them, and I'm just waiting until I get closer to my goal before I begin, and then I'm just going to have to do one thing at a time. I think I'm going to work on the breast augmentation and lift and the tummy tuck. I do not need a full body lift, which I'm really grateful for. I really don't think that I look that bad, but I know that there's work to be done. So I don't have as much need for it as maybe some people do. But again, it's all in my mind. It's what I choose to do for me, and it's how I want to be, what I want to do. And if I change my mind and decide, okay, well, I'm not going to do that, then that's fine too. It's just kind of where I am at any given moment. And you know, I would certainly do facelift. I mean, I'd do the whole thing if I had the cash. I mean, what the heck? I'm not playing.
And I noticed real quick, just so that Tina and I had the exact same question. So you answered the
Hi,
question
Tina.
that I gave, and
Yeah,
Tina
girl.
asked the exact same question. So, and I did not see that at the time.
Yeah, well, it's a good question, and I think it's a question of the day, really, for each and every one of us to address as we feel fit. And if we don't choose to do it, then you know what, that's fine too.
So there was another question coming in, and I really want you to answer this because you kept getting on me about going to Goodwill, going somewhere to shop for new clothes because mine are too baggy. So
Okay.
Nadora Dev asks, now that you have lost 70+ pounds, did you find that your sense of fashion changed? And did you have trouble deciding on a fashion style?
No, I never have trouble deciding on any fashion because I just love buying clothes. And yes, I do go to the Goodwill, and I find great stuff because here in Los Angeles, we got some great places to go, and I can just go and fill up my whole cart if I have the time. It is time consuming, but I find lots of designer brands. I find lots of fabrics that I like and colors and fun things. My wardrobe was all black for a long time. I called it my uniform, and I still have more black in my closet than anything else. I do love black, and I look good in black, I must say, and I think most people do. But just saying, it isn't something that I want to wear every day now. And I haven't gone and bought every size all the way down. I can wear a medium top or a small. I can actually borrow some of my daughter's clothes. I can't get in their pants because they wear like a 0 and a 2, and that's ridiculous. I probably never get there. But I am hoping that I will get to at least a 6. Just saying.
The next question that I'm going to come up, I know this is going to get Khalif going because I believe he's weighed in on this, and so many people have different views on this. It says that this is coming from Beth, 150 me, myself, and I. That leads me to another question. I heard about the body only being able to absorb so much protein in a specific amount of time. Is that only for weight loss surgery people or for everyone? I actually made a video about it. Before you answer, I do want to say that I actually know a trainer who said, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it because I don't look at it that way, but he specifically said to somebody that was standing next to me that the body can only absorb 30 grams of protein at a time. And I know Khalif don't agree with that, and I don't know what's true and what's not, but I think this is going to be an interesting answer and conversation to hear. Did we lose then?
Looks like we...
Khalif, why don't you weigh in on this until
okay.
we can rejoin?
Okay, well, the thing is that your muscles can only use about 30 to 35, and it really depends on your gender and your size, but typically around 30-35 grams of protein can your muscles absorb and use at a time. Your body will hold on to that and store it, kind of the same way that if you eat carbohydrates, your muscles can hold about 400 grams of glycogen. And you have these glycogen stores, so even if you're not using it right away, your body holds it, and then when you need the energy, it taps into it. So it's the same thing with the protein, that when your body needs it, when your muscles have used that protein, then your body would just go and grab more of it, and then your muscles would use that. So you can eat or drink 100, 200 grams of protein in a sitting if you want, and your body would just take 48 up to 70 hours to fully digest and use it all.
But we are not medical professionals. So, you know,
Okay,
do your research
Yeah,
and
but
decide.
let Julie finish the statement because it is so important that we make sure everybody understands
Yes.
this is watching the show. Julie, please restate that for everybody.
We are not medical professionals. This is Khalif's, based on the research he's done, this is what he's come up with, but you need to do your own research and decide what's best for you. Talk to your doctor and, you know, decide that. But don't think that any advice that we are giving you is like medical advice, and
Right.
because Khalif said it, you need to, this is what you need to do. Just saying.
And there is a disclaimer on the website, by the way.
We're so glad that Zen is back. We lost you for a
Yes.
minute. That's no big deal. We went ahead and had Khalif answer his feelings on that. And why don't you go ahead and answer that question if you know any answer about it being just for weight loss surgery people or anyone.
Okay, Rob, I'm sorry, but when the network dropped, you were frozen in the middle of the question. Could you please restate the question?
Sure will, dear. It says, I heard the body only being able to absorb so much protein in a specific time. Is that for weight loss surgery people or for anyone?
I really can't answer that because, again, my doctor told me that my protein needed to be spaced out. Not the meals per se, but the liquid form. So he indicated that it needed to be spaced out over 3 hours for me. I think that having the VSG, because we have a less of a stomach lining, much smaller space. Remember, 80% of our stomach is gone. Maybe that's why we have to drink it slower, because the actual amount of space that it's going through, the absorption thing, you know what I'm saying, is smaller, and that's probably why. So that's my answer.
Thank you. So then, I'm sorry, Beth followed up with something that said, so is this really high energy or high protein products like that says 52 grams a serving just a gimmick?
I really can't answer that either. I don't know exactly what product you're referring to. I stick to the ones like the whey isolate protein. My doctor told me to stay away from the soy protein as an alternative. Maybe vegetable may be the same. He feels that the quality of the protein is really important for me to get to actually nourish the body, because it is actually nourishing all of the tissues of the body require protein to regenerate and to live. So that is the mainstay. And I do sometimes throw a little soy in with my whey protein, and I'll tell you why, because it makes it foam less. When I use my Ninja, it foams way less, and I love my Ninja, just saying.
Okay, I have a question, and it relates to kind of something that Julie brought up earlier. There's definitely been a change in your demeanor in your videos, from the early videos, from even before I started watching you to now. I think your smile is pretty much trademarked. What keeps you going and keeps you so positive? Even now, you said you're stuck in a place where you wish you were moving faster, you wish you were losing weight faster. So what keeps you so positive and focused?
I think it's just my commitment. I have that flame I talked about before that ignited, you know, when I started the weight loss surgery journey, and I realized that I'm doing this for myself. This isn't for my husband, my boyfriend, my kids. It's for me. And so if it's for me, then I have to realize that I have to give back to myself. You know, I've given so much of my life to others. And it's time for me not to be too selfish about it, but just saying that this is something that I am committed to do. And when I commit myself to do something, or I set my mind on something, it isn't too easily that I'm dissuaded. So for me, the flame is growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm just more and more determined. The more that I get stuck, that means I'm just going to have to get behind that boulder and push harder. So whatever it's going to take, whether it's I have to kickbox every day, you know, if I have to rest in between, you know, I'm trying different things, and I think my body needs a little bit of rest because I do feel better. I'm less tired, and I think it's a lot of energy. And I think doing different forms of exercise is important, like walking and, you know, bands. I do like doing bands and weights. I don't do heavy weights because I had like a shoulder thing happen. So I'm really careful on how much weight I actually lift up into the air like that. But I'll do weights to here, you know, and all the different movements and different machines. Machines bore me for the most part. The treadmill makes my feet hurt. When I run, sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't. So I just try to stay away from aggravating my feet because I do got to walk on them.
I have a question. Having a younger daughter, you said your daughter, is she 11?
She's 12 and a half.
Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay, so having a younger daughter, is it hard to make time for yourself?
No, because I have independent kids. I'm independent. I've been independent my whole life, and I think that being free and independent is a really good thing. I try to instill that into my kids to know themselves and to, you know, find their way. So and to entertain themselves. So no, I don't have to entertain her or anyone else. We do stuff together. We go a lot of places together. We go to the beach. We go everywhere for coffee. She doesn't have coffee, but she have tea. But we just do a lot of things together. And there's times when I go and do things on my own, visit my friends, and, you know, do different activities that don't involve kids. My older kids, they do their own thing. You know, they got boyfriends, they got their lives. They're living it up. And you know what? I did the same thing at their age. I don't expect to even see them except when they're doing laundry or asking what's for dinner or, you know, something like that. But I don't even make full dinners except for my daughter and I, because the other girls eat on their own, or they're at their boyfriend's house or doing their thing out with the sorority or whatever. So we end up eating late, and, you know, it's just we do what we have to do.
So then let me ask you this, because I know you work in a large office with a lot of people. And I'm going to say this because I'm about keeping it real, and everybody knows that. So let me lay it out there. Okay. I think women sometimes in that setting can be very turn against each other. I don't think you see that with guys, and that is being honest. I don't see that in my workplace when someone loses weight. Now, you've lost a considerable amount of weight. You've worked at the same place where these people work. So is the backstabbing and the chit-chat, because I'm sure there's people that are hating on the fact that you've lost weight. I think we've actually talked about this before. Yeah. But you don't see that with guys, and you see it more with women. So what's going on at the office with that kind of thing?
Well, I can handle them. You know that. I put them in check in a heartbeat. But people don't come to your face too much with that. And you know what? I'm pretty decent to people. I am who I am. I've always been who I am. I always speak my mind. And very few people want to challenge me verbally. So, I mean, I'm not an aggressive person, but, I can hold my own. You say something to me, I'm going to come right back at you, and it might just slap you upside the head, too, with my remark. But I'd say it with a smile. So I don't have too much problem. I mean, there's maybe people who think, that they look better than I do and all that, but it's not a competition for me. I just look good for myself. I want to feel good. I want to feel healthy, and people know that. So they will sometimes ask me, what do you think about this or that? And they hear how much I work out, so then they all start working out. Oh, there's a gym across the street. Are you going to join? I said, I'm not going to get all messed up during lunch. Shoot, I do it after work.
Okay, we got a lot of questions coming in, so we're going to do like a speed round to get to the end, and we're going to start with Khalif. He can go ahead and ask the next question that's coming in, and then we'll just try to move them along and maybe keep them to like a minute if you can.
Well, Brooke wants to know, what is your favorite book?
Oh, my favorite book. I haven't read a book in a while. I've read a lot of books before when I was I have all kind of books too, so they range. I don't really know if I have a favorite book right now. I've read a lot of books. I did a lot of reading during my adoption process for Mei Lin. I read all about everything and all about China because I went to China. But right now I don't have a favorite book. I don't have any time for books.
We have a question from Prairie Princess 1, Tina. Zen, in one of your videos you said you do kettlebells. Are you still doing them? And Brooke says that Tina works on kettlebell commission.
I do own a couple of kettlebells. I don't have a full set. I do swing them in my living room, and I think they are great exercises. Sometimes I'll do them in the gym. I watched Zuzka Light, her last butt video, and it said how to, you saw that, Khalif? I know you did. And I'll tell you what, 50 swings in a minute 3 times a day is awesome. So I'm committed, just saying, to doing that 50 swings 3 times a day because I think that's super easy. And I do love the rush from the kettlebells. I don't think I could do like you, Tina, with the heavy weights and the because my shoulder would probably break off. But that's just, I'm not trying to be a strength trainer or anything. I just want to, be toned. And that's my goal, is to be toned and fit and feel great.
The lovely Amy Living Avalon is with us tonight, and she says, Zen, what has been your biggest and favorite NSV to date? So your biggest could be one thing and a favorite could be another, or it could be the same. So what do you think?
Wow. Well, I think that getting into a size 10 slacks, honey, is one of the biggest NSVs that I had because, I was in like a 20 when I started. I was like, woo! And that was pushing it sometimes. So that was one of the biggest NSVs. And I think not having my feet hurt was right up there with the size 10s. My feet were hurting, like I said, so bad before I had my surgery, and my ankles would be all swollen. I had this venous condition where I had a lot of leg swelling in the lower leg. After surgery, though, that went away like immediately. So I've been doing a lot better. I can wear different shoes. I can't wear real high shoes unless I'm just taking a picture, or doing a runway. Just kidding. But I have to wear pretty much flat shoes to take care of my feet. But that's a great NSV that I'm not in pain every day, all day long. And thanks for the question, Amy.
Khalif.
Well, I want to know, what advice would you give to someone who is just starting out and probably feels as though that they want to give up, like it's almost impossible, and people have been at it for 2-3 years, and I don't think I can stick in it that long. What would you tell them?
Wow, I would say love yourself. Look in the mirror and realize that there's somebody in there that's dying to get out. And if you don't love yourself enough, you better just look in the mirror maybe a little bit longer and say that, how bad do you want this? That's the question of the day, isn't it? How much do you want it, and what are you willing to do to get it? So for me, I'm willing to give a lot up to do it. I spend my evenings at the gym a lot of the time. I come home and then I'm super energized and, you know, I'm crazy, but I don't know. Those are the questions of the day, aren't they? And I think that if you don't want it bad enough, then yeah, you're going to slack off. You're going to do all that bad stuff, you know, and just get yourself off the wagon, give up. It's just not an option for me. Sorry.
What are your, when you get to goal, and I'm going to say when because I know you'll get to your goal. When you get to goal, what is going to happen with your channel?
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? I think I'll keep doing some videos. I may not do so many weight loss. I might do some motivational, you know, things relating to the mind and the mindset and those type of things. Maybe I'll have some great tips on what I've done, you know, or things I've learned. But right now, I don't consider myself an expert. I'm just like a person in a lab. You know, I'm just moving along, just trying this and trying that. I'm doing a lot of experimentation. So yeah, I think my channel, I'll keep going. I really like, you know, the media, and I think it's a lot of fun to have the YouTube family. I think they're great, and to help even one person with something that you say or be inspirational, and so that they comment back and say that really helped me, even if it was just something that wasn't directly related to losing weight. If I can inspire someone in any way with some of my antics or, you know, my humor, or, you know, just a comment, I'm really happy to do that. And I think that watching everybody else's videos inspires me so much.
Okay, and one last question, Zen, because we are going to be out of time after this question. I heard through the grapevine, and I ain't telling you who told me, that California is trying to run you out of there from your San Quentin days. And, what state do you think you're going to be fleeing to when California pushes you out?
When they push me out? What you talking about? Well, I think I'd be had to come to Arizona and live right next door to you, Rob Reno.
Oh, geez. The neighborhood would go crazy. No, but seriously, we are out of time for the show tonight, Zen. It was amazing having you on here. I thank you very much for coming on Renew, sharing your stories, answering everybody's questions. Again, Zen will follow up with everybody whose question didn't get answered and your comments in one way or another. But Zen, why don't you just take a second, you know, say to the viewers one last thing you want to say. Julie and Khalif may want to say bye to you, but thank you so much for coming on the show. It was amazing.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Rob, and Julie and Khalif for having me. And you guys, I just want everybody to remember that it is all about you, and you just have to get that flame and keep going. It is all about making your life better and happier, and you can do it just like I can. And I am not up 24/7 and happy. I have my moments, and I just have to slap myself and say, okay, come on now, girl, get with the program. You know, this isn't going to take you anywhere but down. And if you even think about eating as a way out, you know, you better think again, because I'm going to come after myself. Love you guys.
Thank you, Zen.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Had a great time.
Thank you.
Okay, Khalif, why don't you tell everybody what's going on next week, and then Julie can take the one after that. We're going to give you guys a lowdown as who's going to be on the next few shows.
All right, well, next week we're going to have Jess from the YouTube channel Too Big, and there'll be a link in the video, under the video, to his channel, so you can go check him out. We're excited to have him on. He is in the middle of his journey. He has lost a significant amount of weight so far, and he is just continuing to push forward.
On April 23rd, we are going to have Angela from Changes by 40 with us, and she has a lot to share. She has been through so much, and she's one of the strongest people I've seen on YouTube, and I can't wait to have her with us.
And on the 30th of April, we're going to have a great night because it's going to be questions and answers night. You guys can ask us questions, answer, because every time the show is on, things change a little bit. So you guys get different questions and want to ask us those questions. So that's going to be absolutely amazing. So for the next 3 weeks, that's our schedule. I just want to say to everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, supporting Renew. This is such an important part of this community, and we couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody, and have a wonderful evening.